What's up, my YouTube page? Today is, I believe it's August the 3rd? No, yes, the 3rd. Come on. It's Wednesday, August the 3rd, 2022. Golly, man. It's 12:07 in the afternoon. I'm here in the office. I am gonna make a video talking about transgenderism again, mostly, but also everything else, because well, mostly because I honestly, like, I know I've been posting a lot of videos, like, you know, hating on the transgender movement and putting transgenderism down and all that, being very negative towards it, and it's coming off as, you know, bigoted or hateful or whatever, and honestly, like, I'm not trying to, you know, accomplish that. It's just, that's just my feelings right now, based off of everything that's manifesting from that movement and how it's affecting, you know, me, my identity, my life, and how I don't, you know, I don't like it. But I don't want to go too much into the details of all that, because honestly, like, that's where it's going to get, you know, emotions are going to get heightened, and the whole point of everything is going to get lost in that, those dull arguments, basically. So I'm going to talk more about another reason why I'm inclined to make this video is because I saw that I watch a lot of transgender YouTubers from both sides of the spectrum, from like the detransition and the, like, oh, I it's made my life happier side, and I've done that to educate myself on those perspectives, those people and their stories, so that they can relay that information to me directly. I mean, I know they're just getting it out there generally, but, you know, I'm a part of that general public that they're addressing, and I'm hearing their stories and taking it into account, into my perspective on things, and you know, most of the time, like, the pro transgender people, the ones that are at that point where they're like, oh yes, this was the right choice for me, most of the time, or not most of the time, every time that I've seen, like, their list of videos, there's always videos of them describing the issues they're having. You know, they're trying to educate others so that they're aware of what's going on, you know, that's their intention, but they're also unintentionally showing me how difficult that whole path is, and how, you know, it's not something that I would ever be inclined to go down, even though I, you know, if I were to still to have gender dysphoria at this point in my life, or struggle with that, because I did at one point. And so that's, I guess, why I've been so also aggressive towards it, because I've seen, like, how it's not been, you know, such a smooth ride, and every single one of them says that. Obviously the detransitioners all say that, but the transitioners as well, the ones that are, you know, happy about it, are still showing how hard that life is. And it's just, I don't understand, you know. Well, I didn't understand, I should say. I kind of understand a bit more now, how people could be so, you know, willing to fake their smiles. Because I mean, this is where my opinion's gonna start. I honestly see that a lot of fake smiles coming from them. They're happier. I should specify. I'm sure a lot of them are happier than what they were before, but they're not happy, and they're not ever gonna be fully happy, because what a lot of them want, or what they want, that otherwise they wouldn't be, you know, cutting themselves up, subjecting themselves to those kinds of dangerous, painful surgeries. They wouldn't be doing that unless they really wanted to be the opposite sex, you know, for the most part anyways. Most of them, I think some of them are just masochists. They have deeper issues than gender dysphoria, but most of them, it's just because they want to be the opposite sex, and for whatever reason, and they're never gonna be that, you know, ever, because we're born with a blueprint, a DNA blueprint that is out of our control. It is within our cellular structures, and until there comes a day when scientists can actually manipulate the DNA blueprint, the original DNA format that we have within us, until they can do that within a fully grown body or an already made body, you know, no one is ever going to be able to switch genders fully. You're just not going to be able to be the opposite gender. You could mimic it and try to appear as much as you can, but you will never be that. And I think they know that at a certain point, you know, so they try to, you know, just smile through, and you can't blame them, you know, and I don't blame them, because it's shitty, you know, like, you went and you did all of that to yourself, and it's like, fuck, you know, you're at that realization, and it sucks, you know, but you just have to accept reality at a certain point. Just accept reality for what it is, and just don't try and block it out anymore. Just keep that in your mind frame, because that's what it is, and go from there. And it doesn't mean that, you know, your life has to be shit, or you have to hate yourself, you have to, you know, be ashamed of who you are. It doesn't mean anything like that, you know. It just means that you're gonna have some stuff to work through, that you need to work through, just like we all do. Everybody has shit, mental, emotional baggage they need to work through. Every single fucking human being on this planet has it. And until you work through that, you know, you're gonna always be fighting these negative thoughts, these negative feelings about yourself and who you are. And so just work through it. The hard stuff, even the most difficult things, you know, and it's gonna get ugly, and you might cry, and you might feel like shit, but it'll feel better afterwards once you let it out. It feels better when you let it out. And I know this kind of might seem contradictory to a lot of people, especially in the LGBT community, the transgender community, because your whole basically mantra is like, be yourself and be who you are and love yourself for who you are. And I get that, but what a lot of you don't realize is that you're not allowing yourselves to be who you truly are, because you're filtering your personality, your natural personality, into boxes that are put out there in the world, that are ready made by the world around you. And you're creating a persona that you're saying, oh, this is me, this is who I am, but it's not. It's your creation of what you've made based off of the boxes, the filtration out there that's been made for you, and you're running with it because it's easier for you. It makes you feel, you know, better than having to really dig within and go and face the hard shit. And I know that's gonna trigger a lot of people, but it's the truth. It's the fucking truth, whether you want to believe it or not. It's fucking truth. And I don't want to go any deeper than that, because there's a lot of scars, you know. It's hard for a lot of people. People go through trauma on all different scales, and some of them go through some pretty fucking hard trauma. And I can't personally say that I've been ever one of those people. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say that I've ever gone through some kind of like really rough traumatic upbringing that I can't even like face or think about, because it still hurts me to this day. Like, I've never ever gone through anything like that. And you know, and that's another one of the reasons that made me make this video is because, you know, I at my deepest levels, behind all my anger and rage for everything that's transpiring in the world with transgenderism, I understand that. I truly do. And when I saw this video of this transgender YouTuber, Matilda Hogberg, I think her name is, or his name. It's a boy, male to female, but, you know, I don't mind saying her or him. You know, honestly, I never did up until the point that all of the stuff that angers me about what's happening today I started noticing it. And, you know, until then it was never a problem to me. So I do it by slip, by accident. I say slip because I really don't care at the end of the day if I call you he or she. It's just a matter of reality to me. That's what is the true argument, or the true term of, or issue of contention that I have personally with this whole transgender movement. But yeah, Matilda was basically saying the story of how they didn't think it was gonna be what it is. Like, they wish somebody would have said to them how